Chosen one, stop what you are doing and stay right here. You have already won, but you must understand the strategy used against you. It is now clear that your enemy is planning to get to you through your own people. You see it before they do. You saw the intention behind the charm, and because you refuse to ignore your gift, their deceptive game has already reached its end. Think of a gathering, warm, full of familiar faces, people who know your history, who have been through the complicated chapters with you, who love you the way people love each other when they have survived real things together. This is your world. These are your people. And then, walking through the gate looking better than ever before, smiling wide, with arms open like belonging, there is the most natural thing in the world, is the person, the one you warned everybody about. This person walks in like the invitation was sent, like none of the history happened, like you never said a single word. And what catches you off guard, what takes your breath for just a second, is that your people are welcoming this person. Your people are getting up, making space, laughing, and acting like everything you told them simply does not exist. Most people in your position feel betrayed in that moment. They feel abandoned, like the room chose someone else over them. That feeling is real, and I am not dismissing it, but that feeling is the surface reading. You are not a surface reader. You are a chosen one, so here is the real reading. That person walked through the gate performing warmth, but underneath every handshake, every laugh and every generous gesture for the crowd, work is happening. Quiet, calculated, deliberate work. Every relationship being built inside your circle is a brick in a structure being constructed with one destination in mind, and that destination is you. This person is not there for the people. This person is not there for the gathering. The real reason for showing up is that something is coming for your life. A breakthrough, a new season, a door that is about to open and shift everything. And this person needed to be positioned inside your circle before that door swings open. If the people you trust are vouching, defending and opening their arms, then when the moment comes, the path to you runs straight through the people you love most. This person did not come to the gathering, chosen one. This person came for you. And you are the only one at the table who sees it. You need to understand not just what was done, but how it was done, so precisely that even the people who love you most did not see it coming. The operation starts with a specific person in your circle, not a stranger, someone close to you who is carrying a small, quiet tension they have never fully put into words. Maybe there is unfinished business between the two of you. Maybe something was said once that left a mark. Maybe that person has felt, just slightly and just sometimes, like their voice does not carry the same weight as yours. Your enemy finds that crack, not with aggression, but with warmth, with the specific art of making someone feel deeply understood at the exact moment they most need to feel understood. And now your circle has an advocate for this person, someone who genuinely believes the enemy is good because the enemy made that person feel seen. From there, the first advocate makes introductions, not like a campaign, but casually, naturally, by mentioning this person warmly in conversation and inviting them somewhere new. Your circle's existing trust does the work of the introduction, which means the enemy never had to pitch themselves at all. Your own people pitched them. Then comes the move that seals everything. The enemy becomes useful to someone close to you, present when needed, reliable, and showing up at the right moments. And now your circle has a lived, personal, positive experience with this person that overrides anything you said in a warning. Lived experience always wins over a second-hand alarm. That is just human nature, and this person banked on exactly that. You were not seeing a person when your alarm went off. You were seeing a plan, and the plan was already running. So you did what chosen ones do. You spoke up. You named what you saw. You told your truth. You tried to get the people you loved to understand that the warmth being performed for the room was theater, that the charm was a costume, and that this person coming back around was not about community or healing or starting fresh. It was about access to you, and they looked at you like you were the problem. That is the crucible. That is the moment every chosen one has to survive. You told the truth. You said the thing that needed to be said, and the room decided that your truth was the issue. They told you to let go. They told you people change. They looked at this person with a polished presence and an easy smile, then looked at you with your urgency and your warning, and they chose the performance over the profit. Here is where I need to speak to you directly, because this is what breaks most chosen ones, not the enemy. The enemy is just doing what enemies do. What breaks most chosen ones is this exact moment, the moment you open your mouth, tell the truth, and watch the people you love decide not to believe you. That is when the doubt creeps in. That is when you start to wonder if maybe you are the problem, if the bitterness they are accusing you of is actually real, if the clarity you have been so certain of is really just old pain dressed up as discernment. Your gut did not lie to you. Not once, not ever. Everything you felt about this person from the beginning was accurate. The reason you could see what others could not is not because you are damaged. It is because you are designed differently. Your discernment picks up information that most people simply cannot receive. That precision, that extraordinary ability to read what is real beneath what is presented, is the exact reason this person worked so hard to make you look unstable. A chosen one operating in full confidence is the one thing a manipulator cannot survive. Your doubt is their oxygen. They needed you to apologize for what you saw, and to shrink the alarm down to a whisper so quiet it could be dismissed. Your confidence was under deliberate attack. Maybe the attack chipped away at it a little, but it never broke all the way down. That is why you are here, still seeing, still standing, still knowing what you know. If these words stirred your consciousness, hype this video to help more chosen ones awaken to this. While you were trying to get people to look at the enemy was quietly redirecting how your circle looks at you. Every time you raised a concern, and that person later crossed paths with someone in your circle, a seed got planted, not aggressively, softly, with a sigh and a sad expression. Something like, "I just wish things could be different. I have genuinely tried. I think something hard is coming out sideways in how I am being talked about." And the person hearing that, someone who loves you, starts to reframe your warning. Instead of receiving it as a report on something real, they begin to read it as a symptom of something you are going through. A subtle new lens got handed to your closest people by the very person you were trying to expose. That is why being believed felt impossible. It was not just that people did not want to hear it. The environment had already been seeded against you before you ever opened your mouth. Pulling that off took real patience and real strategy, which tells you something important about who you are dealing with. This person was afraid of you long before you had any reason to be afraid of anything. Coming back into your world was not about the people in your circle. It was not about reconciliation, community, or healing old wounds. That is the story that was told. That is the performance. This person came back because the future you are walking into could already be felt, not in a literal sense, but the same way you can feel a storm before any cloud appears in the sky. The voltage shifting in your life was something this person could sense. Something extraordinary was approaching, and that was terrifying, because everything this person had ever wanted, everything spent trying to take or undermine, you were about to have it, legitimately, fully, on your own terms, and that could not be allowed to happen. Coming at you directly was no longer an option. You had locked that door. You were too grounded, too clear, and too certain in what you knew to be rattled by a direct hit. So the move went around you. The move went through your circle. The plan was to be embedded so deeply in your world by the time your season arrived that when the breakthrough came, leverage would already be in place, through the voices you trust, through the relationships you have built over a lifetime, through the very people who hold the keys to your next level. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something, but talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action, and real chosen ones are also paying attention. You've noticed it. Chosen one channels getting silenced, videos pulled, voices removed from the platform. The mainstream media is cracking down on us, but we will not give up our voice, and neither should you. That's why joining Destiny Engine is a 360 win. You support your favorite channels and fuel your own rise at the same time. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. The beauty is, you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today. Join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Now here is where I answer the question I planted at the very beginning. Why your people? Because your people are not just your emotional support. They are the scaffolding around which your breakthrough gets built. The people who know your name, your vision, and your history are the ones who open doors before you arrive. They vouch for you in rooms you have not entered yet. They send resources, show up as backup, and say your name in conversations where it matters. Your circle is functional. It is the living architecture of your future, and this person understood that. The move was never to come at you directly. The move was to get inside the scaffolding, to build trust with the people who hold access to your next level, because a person embedded in that network does not have to attack you openly. They just have to be trusted, to be in the room when decisions involving you get made, to be the one your people turn to first. That kind of access, slow built and emotionally established, is far more dangerous than any direct confrontation could ever be. Your future was the target. Your people were the path to it. Your spirit felt all of that before your mind could name it. That is why the alarm was so urgent, even when you struggled to explain it. Your discernment was not just reading a person. It was reading an architecture designed specifically to intercept your destiny at the point of arrival, and it fired every signal it had to warn you in time. It did its job by warning you. Now you need to do yours. So here you are. Your people are at the table. The enemy is inside your gates, working the room like a professional. You have said what you needed to say. Some people heard you. Some people heard you and buried it. Some will not hear you until they live through the lesson themselves. And you are standing at a crossroads. Do you stay and fight? Do you dig in, refuse to give ground, and contest every relationship this person tries to build inside your circle? That impulse is real. There is a version of this where you become the immovable object, and where your sheer force of will makes the whole plan impossible. Here is what you need to understand about that version. It costs you everything, not just your energy, everything, because the fight that is being set up for you is not a fight you can win by fighting. It is a fight designed to drain you. Every argument takes you another day away from your breakthrough. Every attempt to prove them wrong is another day you are not building what belongs to you. Every moment spent fighting for people's belief is a moment you are not walking toward what is waiting for you. Your engagement, your attention, and your conflict energy are what feed the operation. As long as you are fighting, you are still connected. As long as you are connected, the enemy has a direct line to the energy of what is coming for you. The second option is the one that requires the most strength. It is the option that looks quiet from the outside, but is the most powerful move on the board. You leave, not out of fear, not out of defeat. You leave because you are done. Done warning, done fighting to be believed. You leave the way a lion leaves a room, not because the room scared the lion, but because the lion has somewhere far more important to be. You pick up everything that is yours, your peace, your clarity, your gifts, your future, and you walk, clean, decisive, no speech, no scene, no dramatic exit that can be reframed as evidence against you. You just go. But before you walk out, understand what your departure actually destroys inside their operation, because leaving is not just a personal decision about your peace. It is a precision strike against everything that was built to reach you. Every relationship cultivated inside your circle, every advocate won over, and every carefully arranged introduction was pointed like an arrow toward one destination. That destination is you. Every relationship this person built is directional, and every direction is the same. The moment you step out of that environment entirely, every one of those arrows points at empty space. The destination moved, and now this person has to maintain all of those relationships with no return on the investment. The performance has to continue, but there is nothing left to gain from it. That is exhausting for someone whose entire operation runs on calculated return. The precision of the performance starts slipping, the edges of the mask start showing, and your circle, which was only ever seeing the polished version, begins to notice things it could not see before. Your leaving did not just protect you, it pulled the focus that was holding the mask in place. And the moment you stand up and walk out, the atmosphere shifts, not with noise, with silence. The way that silence after music stops makes you realize how loud the music was just by the size of the quiet it leaves behind. People still at the table notice, not all of them, but enough. The ones who have been quietly carrying the seed you planted, holding down that small unanswered question they kept pushing away, feel that seed crack open the moment you walk out the door. Why did they leave? That question moves through the room without making a sound. Nobody says it out loud, but every person with any real sensitivity feels it moving beneath the surface of every conversation. Because you are not someone who leaves for effect. You are not someone who storms out dramatically. You are the one who has been saying something for a long time and has been dismissed for saying it, and now you left. The specific weight of your leaving, the fact that it is you of all people who stood up and walked out quietly without a scene, is not nothing, it is everything. Back at the table, something starts to unravel. Here is what nobody is saying out loud, but everybody's instincts are beginning to whisper. The only reason this person came back, the only reason the image got rebuilt and the way got worked into this specific circle was because of you. And now you are gone. So what exactly was all of this for? The longer that question hangs in the air without a clean answer, the more the performance loses its sharpness. Small things start showing, a response that lands slightly wrong, an energy shift when your name comes up, an inconsistency that was always there but was hidden behind a very focused effort to impress. Your departure pulled the motivation, and without the motivation the mask loosens. When you leave cleanly, without drama, and without making it a production, your people are left holding two things at the same time, the memory of what you said, and the reality of what they are now experiencing firsthand. That gap between the warning you gave and the lived evidence now in front of them is doing something that no argument from you could ever have produced. It is making them think for themselves. It is making them arrive at their own conclusions through their own experience, and the conclusion they are arriving at is yours. The loyalty that comes from someone figuring out the truth on their own cannot be argued away, because it did not come from an argument, it came from living, and you cannot take away what someone personally witnessed. Conversations change, slowly. The way light shifts in a room when a cloud moves across the sky. Someone brings up something this person said a while back that did not quite feel right but got let go in the moment. Someone else remembers a specific look, a specific energy in a moment that now reads completely differently in hindsight. Someone who was there when you first gave the warning starts making connections they were not ready to make before, and then someone finally says it, quietly, carefully. You know what? I actually understood what was being said about this person, and the whole table holds its breath, because now it is out in the open. The thing everybody was half feeling but nobody was naming is sitting in the middle of the conversation like something that cannot be unseen. And now the group is having the real conversation, not a mob, not an attack, a necessary, honest, uncomfortable reckoning with who has been allowed into this space and why. This is what your warning made possible. Not immediately, not the first time you said it, but the seed went in, and your leaving was the water that finally brought it to the surface. Meanwhile, the person who came through your circle to reach you is watching access evaporate in real time. Every relationship cultivated is cooling, every door is narrowing, the infrastructure dissolves, not because of anything you did after you left, but because the truth you released before you left is doing its work without you. That is what truth does when you stop gripping it and trying to control whether people receive it. It moves on its own timeline, it finds its own audience, it proves itself without your help. You do not need to be present for the collapse. The collapse is already running. When someone like this feels a plan collapsing, the response is not acceptance, it is a pivot, and the pivot is directed at the one person in your circle who is still undecided, the one who heard your warning and has not fully landed on a position, the one watching everything unfold and still trying to piece together what is real. That person becomes the new target. A new story gets delivered to them, a story where everything that just happened gets reframed as your doing. In this version, you are the one who created the conflict. You are the one who left instead of working things out, and every possible effort was made to repair things before you made your decision. Everything short of surrender was offered, and still nothing was ever enough. And now everyone is left dealing with the fallout of your choices. Watch for this. It is coming. It is designed to plant a splinter of doubt, just deep enough that even your clean departure cannot fully close the door. The goal is to leave something behind. One person still unsure, one question still lingering, one open wound in your circle that can still be worked. They are going to see you moving, building and thriving in the space that opened the moment you removed yourself from what was draining you. And alongside that picture, they are going to see someone who promised community and delivered calculation, standing in place, maintaining a performance for a room that is steadily cooling, working to stay relevant in a circle that is quietly closing in around the truth. You do not have to win that person with an argument. Time wins that person for you, and time always moves in the direction of truth when you are operating in truth. Your discernment is not a burden. Your sensitivity is not damage. Your ability to read what is real beneath what is presented is not a personality flaw that needs to be corrected or a wound that needs healing before you can function in relationships. That is the story that was handed to you by people who needed you to see your gift as a liability so they could operate freely around you. Your discernment is a precision instrument. It has been protecting you your whole life, even in the seasons when you doubted it, even when everyone around you was telling you that you were wrong. Think about the situations you did not walk into because something felt off before you could explain why. Think about the people you kept at a distance because your gut said not yet. Think about the relationships that never fully formed because that quiet awareness in you would not let you give full trust to something that had not earned it yet. That was not your damage working. That was your gift working. Quietly, constantly, keeping you out of outcomes you never had to survive because you felt them approaching before they arrived. And now that same gift is operating out in the open, in a way it never has before, because there is a record now. There is a before and an after. There is the warning you gave, and there is the moment the warning proved true. And the people who are watching, even the ones who dismissed you when you first spoke, are connecting those dots. They are beginning to understand that what looked like oversensitivity was actually precision. What looked like paranoia was actually prophecy. What looked like an inability to let things go was actually a refusal to let the wrong thing in. Your gift is not the thing that keeps you isolated. It is the thing that in the right season makes every room you walk into safer, for you and for everyone in it with you. The enemy came back because what was approaching your life could already be felt. They panicked. They built an entire operation around getting inside your circle before your breakthrough arrived. Every piece of strategy deployed against you, every relationship cultivated, every performance executed, all of it adds up to one undeniable thing. Your enemy told you your own future, not with words, with the scale of what they built against you. People do not construct elaborate strategies around someone who is not worth targeting. They do not rebuild an image from the ground up, go through intermediaries, cultivate an entire network of relationships inside a specific circle, and invest that level of patience and calculation into someone who is not about to do something significant. The scale of the operation built against you is a direct and precise reflection of the scale of what is coming for you. This person saw it before you fully believed it yourself. Mobilization against your future happened while you were still standing in the middle of your struggle. That means every hard season you walked through, every moment you carried the truth alone, every time you were dismissed and kept going anyway, none of it was evidence against your destiny. All of it was the process, the exact path that chosen ones walk to arrive at the place where the gifts are fully activated and the breakthrough is finally ready to land. Now think about the timing of when this person came back. The return did not happen when you were at a low point, when resources were thin and confidence was shaky. Showing up to kick someone when they are already down requires no sophistication. This person came back when things were beginning to shift for you, when the momentum started building, when the energy around your life started carrying a different charge. The timing of that return is the clearest signal of your rising. People who come to drain and dismantle do not mobilize when there is nothing to take. They mobilize when something worth taking starts to form. The moment your rising was sensed, the move was made, and that urgency, that willingness to invest that level of energy and strategy just to slow down what is coming for you, is the most honest confirmation they could have ever given about who you are and what you are about to step into. The plan failed, and what was always meant for you does not reroute because someone tried to block it. It keeps moving. And now, with you out of the environment that was pulling your energy backward, the arrival accelerates. So now you are walking, and this walk is not a trudge. It is not a defeated exit. It is not the movement of someone who lost something. It is a lion walking out of a room, not because the room presented a threat the lion could not handle, but because the lion has somewhere far more important to be. Your head is up. Your shoulders are back. You are not looking behind you because you already saw everything back there that was worth seeing. You saw it before anyone else did, and now you are moving based on what you know is coming, not reacting to what already happened. That is what chosen ones do. They are always ahead of the event, already in motion toward the next thing. The enemy tried to use your own people against you. The plan was to build a trap inside your most trusted relationships and turn the very thing you care about most, the people you love, into the instrument of your undoing. And what happened instead? Your warning began working. Your departure activated something in the people you love that a long season of arguing never could have. Your movement became the loudest signal you ever sent. And now those same people, the ones who seem to choose the performance over the profit, are the ones asking questions, pulling back, and becoming the protection you needed around your circle without you having to engineer it yourself. Some of your people are going to come back to you. When they do, they are going to carry the look of someone who needs to say something they are not entirely comfortable saying. They are going to tell you that you were right, and you are going to receive that with grace, without the extended version of "you should have listened." without making them feel worse about something they already carry the weight of, because you were never in this for the satisfaction of being right. You were in this because you saw something true and refused to pretend you did not see it. The truth did its work. The people found their way back. The circle that was almost corrupted is being cleaned, and the person who came through the gate performing wellness and change and grace, that person is standing in the wreckage of a plan that never had a real chance, because chosen ones do not lose to people who come in through the side entrance. Chosen ones see the side entrance, they see who is approaching it, they see the full plan, and they move in a way that makes the plan irrelevant before it can even be executed. You did that. That was your gift, your sight, your willingness to trust what you know, even when every voice around you was asking you to doubt it. At the beginning, you were the one sounding the alarm, standing at the edge of something dangerous and trying to get people to see it before it reached them. That was a hard and lonely place to stand, and you stood there with everything you had. But now you are not the one fighting to be heard. You are the one people are coming to. You are not the one trying to convince anyone of what you see. You are the one people seek out because they know they have seen, they have lived through the proof that when you speak it is worth receiving. You moved from alarm giver to the one others point toward when they need to understand what is real. From the one whose gift was questioned to the one whose gift is now recognized as exactly what it always was. The position changed. The person doing the seeing did not. That is what faithfulness to truth produces over time. That is the reward that comes from not abandoning what you carry just because carrying it made the room uncomfortable. You held it. You kept seeing. You kept speaking. You kept moving, even when moving felt completely alone. And now the room is reorganizing around you instead of pushing you out of it. Chosen one, this is the truth that needed to reach you. Not just about this situation, but about who you are and what you were designed to do. You are not carrying a gift that complicates your life. You are equipped for a specific assignment that required someone who could see clearly in environments built to obscure the truth. This was not given to you by accident. The precision of your discernment, the way your spirit receives information before your mind can explain it, the exact frequency you operate on, all of it was designed intentionally for a purpose that is bigger than any single enemy or any single season of being misread. Your enemy came for you through your own people, and what that enemy got in return was exposure, unraveling and collapse. Because that is what always happens when someone tries to use the people around a chosen one as a weapon against the chosen one. It turns back. It always turns back. Because the same force that equipped you to see also protects the people around you from being fully corrupted by what was sent against you. You were covered through all of it. You are covered now, and that covering does not lift. Now stop looking back at that gathering. Turn around and face what is in front of you. Your people are waking up. Your gifts are fully operational. Your enemy has been neutralized, not by your hand, but by the precision of what you carry and how you chose to use it. You warned them, you moved, you won. Now walk into what is yours. Clean hands, clear eyes, head up.